Hi, this is Brandon Spillane from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the figure 8 rotational med ball shot put. This is a great rotational throw you can put in your training programs for your athletes, and they're developing the rotational power. We definitely have talked about the scoop toss and the rotational med ball shot put. This is just one spin off on that. What I really like about this exercise is that it gets the athlete leaning towards their backside. Okay, we're going to teach them how to get away from their front leg, especially if we're talking about baseball and softball. And we're going to try to shift that weight into the back hip. Okay, obviously we're going to train both sides, but we also get some thoracic rotation too in terms of how we move the med ball in a figure 8 fashion. It also puts some spice on the throws. When we work with rotational athletes, we find that we've got to try to also keep things stimulating as well. We can't just seamlessly throw a med ball at a wall and let it be boring and bland. Adding a little bit of spice and flair also gets a little bit better buy-in from our athletes. So, but the figure 8 rotational med ball shot put, we need a ball. We want to make sure that the ball is relatively light. Okay, with any of our throws, the weight of the ball is not as much concern. It's about how hard we can throw it. If it's really hard, then we might be able to increase the weight of the med ball. But you know, depending upon your athlete, you got to make that kind of discretion of what kind of weight they should use. I'm only going to use a 4 pound for this demonstration. I could probably use a 6, but in no way would I probably ever use an 8 pound med ball. We're going to be in a good wide athletic position here, good athletic stance. We're going to hold the ball here at chest level, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw figure 8s. Okay, so the 8's going to be on the sideways. We're not going to do this. Okay, we're going to draw them sideways, and as you can see, as I rotate and draw the letter, my body's shifting side to side, back and forth. So what we're really coming for is this back hip. Okay, I'm trying to rotate towards this back side of the hip. As I rotate here, then I'm going to bring it up into my shot put, so the elbow is going to be high. I'm going to bring it up. Think of your bat, maybe if you're a baseball player, softball player, you're going to be here, come back, and then we're going to launch it as hard as we can. Make sure we get that hip all the way through, facing towards the wall, and make sure we're using that hip power that we're trying to sit into, as well as develop a little bit more thoracic rotation as well. So in action here, I'm going to draw the 8s whenever I feel ready, and as hard as I can. Back, good solid 8s here. Come back towards the upside. And one more time. There. So as you can see, very simple, a lot of oomph, a lot of power, trying to get that backside through, load it up before we come through with a good throw. When we program these, we're going to depend upon how many days of throwing med balls we have in programs, but I usually like this 5 to 8 throws aside, just to figure out athletes are at based upon their season and their maturity level and all that. That'll help you decide where your reps are probably going to be in your sets. 3, 4, 5 sets at the absolute most, sprinkled across the training week is good. And then in individual session, you're obviously going to want 3 or 4 or 5 sets. But just keep in mind that your number of sets will dictate about how many days a week you're throwing med balls. So obviously you train both sides, and there's obviously going to be that one side that doesn't feel as fluid, their non-dominant side. That's totally okay. That's just basically prehab to make sure that things stay relatively balanced and don't get too shifted towards one side or the other, especially in the younger athletes. Obviously in your pro guys, it's going to be a little bit different. But really like this exercise. Give it a shot. If you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.